Namaste. This is our 87th presentation. The topic is aging myths and realities. As we have been talking for a long time about how to improve health with food and whatever you can do now, we have changed our gears and not only talking about how to improve it. Today, we'll make the first beginning of how to reverse it. Before we start those kind of presentations, let us have a clarity about the myths and the realities. There are several myths about aging, and there are several realities about food. Both are complementary and help to have good, healthy life. I suppose you can recognize this. This is me at 64 at present. And if nothing is done, if I were to live 100, with the modern medicine, various surgeries, and medical interventions, today's medicine is ready to make people live up to 100. Just live. Healthy or not is secondary. The science and technology that is available today, if one can afford, they can make you live longer. But we just don't want to live longer. We'll want to live long, healthy life. Earlier, I mentioned that it is in our genes. We were not sure at that time what percentage, but this picture roughly shows about less than 50%. Every week, there are new results. Every year, there are new realities. And people are going to be better as time passes. Every year of science is adding 3 years more to the human longevity. Every year of medicine is adding roughly a third of it 1 year, which means next year, the mankind's predictive ability to live longer goes by 1 more year, adding to whatever is already achieved. And they say that the person who is born today, a child, will have the ability to live up to 150 years, definitely 120 years with good health. With that opening sentence, I would like to get into the present topic. We always talked about food. Without big science, medicine, and expensive treatments, food can help you. Why? Because the human body is a big 1 million molecular machine. This 1 million molecular machine needs raw materials to repair, to grow, and to be in a healthy state. And the raw materials are from food. Therefore, we have been, and the world has been focusing on food for health. Food is not what just eat here. Also, water and air are very important along with food. There are several myths. First, let me give you the myths, and then let us get into the details later. Why they are myths and how to bust those myths. 1. Aging is irreversible. Inevitable cognitive decline, because most of us forget things. Therefore, we think that one ages, cognitive decline is unavoidable. While some cognitive functions might decrease with age, many older adults need not have the decline and maintain sharp minds and even experience growth in certain areas of knowledge and wisdom. That's the reason the age-old saying, old is gold, has been there for thousands of years. The next myth is aging equals to poor health. This is a great observation by many, but this is a myth too. Some assume that getting older automatically means deteriorating health, while aging can increase the risk of certain health issues. Many health problems are preventable or manageable with proper care. Next one is decreased productivity and creativity. Both are combined here, but that may not be the right way, but try to minimize the myths into categories. I have put them together, but there is a misconception that older adults are less productive or creative. In reality, many individuals produce significant work and achieve major accomplishments later in life. Ability to learn new things. Some think that older adults cannot learn new skills, but that is also, like the previous one, a myth. Number 5, physical activity isn't safe for older adults. Therefore, many times people say, oh, please don't do this, please don't do that. That necessarily is not right. That's a myth. Sexual desire disappears with age. In various cultures, there is a taboo kind of thing. As people age, the sex is not talked about, but that is not true. Sexual age, while aging can lead to changes in sexual health, many older adults continue to have and enjoy active sex life. Here, sex should be defined in a broader sense. Aging is depressing. Some assume that aging naturally brings on feelings of sadness or despair. While some older adults might face mental health challenges, many report feelings of contentment or happiness in their later years. The last one on this list is all older adults are the same. Just as any age group, older adults are a diverse group with varied interests, abilities, and health issues, and that actually makes them a big point. That makes a big point, and their health challenges or life experiences present to us show that all aging people are not same, and therefore aging need not be associated with all these myths. Earlier, I gave a full presentation a few months back with artificial intelligence aging with AI to 120 years. Because many aspects of one's life that cannot be understood by a simple machine or one single doctor or a panel of doctors can be understood nowadays when all the parameters are put together, all the tests are put together, all the experience are put together into one single process where the artificial intelligence can understand and suggest the right course of action that would lead to let people age well into 100 years and beyond. You saw this before, but I want to reiterate and make the impact. If you see the green line starting from early age, it's going up. On the Y scale, it's the performance goes up to 35 or maybe 40. It has three phases. One is growth, second one is maturity, and the third one is peak. The peak is very short, maybe 10, 15 years, depending on each individual's performance. At that point, around 40, if you don't do anything, without attention to your body and health and your behavior, it will come down drastically before 85, and death is almost certain before 85. And sickness, disability, all these things are going to happen from 60s onwards. But we have several preventive measures already being practiced by you, your circle, from your doctors, in the society. There are several preventive measures that we are taking, and they extend the healthy part of life further. In the last few years, not only the prevention, if the right interventions are made, you don't have to slow it down. With the right interventions, you can continue it at that peak level further, almost to 120 years. If not 120, current understanding is definitely close to 100 years. Obviously, the earlier you start, the benefits will be better. But at any stage of life, if you observe the preventive measures and have intervention, you definitely will have better, healthier life. This is what we discussed earlier. One simple act that you can do right away is eat mindfully. We have discussed it a few times, mindful eating and mindless eating. Eating past the full and ignoring your body signals is wrong. That is mindless eating. Eating when you are emotionally upset, sad, bored, lonely, that's wrong. Eating alone at random times and places is also wrong. Eating food that are emotionally comforting without stopping uncontrollably is wrong. Eating and multitasking, many people do that, is wrong. Considering meal an end product is wrong. Meal is the one that gives you not only strength, also happiness. And mindful eating, on the contrary, is listening to your body and then following the body's signals or suggestions to either eat or to stop eating. Eating when our bellies tell us to eat, each individual will have those signals. You have to observe. And if you want to observe this, the simplest way is one full day. Don't eat anything. Just take water and observe what your body is telling you. Taking those signals later, eat when your body is telling you to eat. If one full day you don't see any difference, then wait for another day. Just take water. You will understand your body better than a doctor or anybody else. After that, if you eat when the body wants, if you stop when the body doesn't want, it will give you good health. I don't have to tell all of you because most of you know about the fasting, whether it is personal reasons, religious reasons, you all know this subject, but implement it seriously. In other words, religiously. Because people may not be able to implement seriously, the fasting has become part of religion so that you would implement religiously. Eating foods that are nutritionally healthy. Lalita Ramaswamy, myself, Dr. Ashwini, and other doctors and girls from nutrition have told you many times what are the foods that are nutritionally healthy. We have 1,098 food items in our database. We presented a few hundreds to you already, and we will come up with 365 food items that you should be eating regularly for one good, important reason or the other that will give you a healthy life. When eating, just eat. Don't do multitasking. Enjoy the meal with your family, friends, wherever you are, whatever you have for the food. Considering where food comes from, thinking about where the food is coming from, how it is made, is also important. If a food is made industrially, it is less beneficial to the body than if it is made in a kitchen with somebody whom you know, either you or your family members, then that will give you a better health because industrial preparations add chemicals that require for a long shelf life. Whereas at home or in your family and friends, when they cook, they do not add those chemicals. That's the single most difference which can give you better health. Earlier I said with AI, your life and the health can be improved. I have prepared this using artificial intelligence for a simple Gujarati vegetarian meal. A few months back, I gave it to you. We may remember what to include in our meal, or we may not be able to remember, but fortunately, artificial intelligence programs, they take everything into consideration and then give you a plan. Here, this plan with breakfast 400 calories, lunch 450 calories, dinner 500 calories, in between snack 200 calories. This is what is really needed at this age for all of you. To prepare the menu, to prepare a variety, because I said that you must enjoy food. You cannot eat every day the same stuff. You can ask artificial intelligence programs like ChatGPT, or there are many now since the time that we presented. This was prepared with ChatGPT, but you can prepare or ask your people to prepare a menu for every day if you wish, or every day of the week and repeat it. And this is a true, good, healthy Gujarati style vegetarian meal. If you want to make it a Jain one, yes, give the command or what they call as prompt to say that I want a Jain vegetarian meal. It will give you. Try to follow as much as you can. This is something that you can do today without waiting for big science and medicine to increase your health. Now, coming to the science and medicine, what are the interventions? Earlier, we said that prevention can extend to some extent, but interventions can take you very far and give you much better, healthy life. The first one is senolytics. Senolytics is a category of drugs, medicines, like tablets, capsules, that they go and kill the cells that are senescent, not very active, not died, but in between that are not helping your body. Telomerase activity. Telomeres are the caps on your chromosomes. If the caps are falling off, then aging is faster. So they maintain the caps. Metformin, most of you know, as a medicine for diabetes, is going to maintain one of the most important things in the body, the sugar and insulin balance. Sugar and insulin balance is necessary for good energy production. Rapamycin and Rapa analogs also work in a similar fashion on various cells and try to improve your health. And more than these medicines, the calorie restriction and fasting we all know, but some people may not want to fast, but there are diets, food suggestions that almost make the body feel that you are fasting. What it means is they will not give you the calories that are otherwise given by the regular foods. But I don't want you to think about such things because most of you or all of you are capable of fasting without depending on these artificial mimicking diets. NAD is a molecule. As I said, that human body is a million molecule machine, and this NAD is a very important molecule, definitely useful for the body in at least 500 metabolic reactions. Therefore, with age, you need this because with age, our ability to produce this molecule in the body comes down. Exercise and physical therapy, certainly we have talked about many a times. Exercise, what it does is, whether it is walking, swimming, cycling, gym, it will create the entire body system into one single unit and gives the energy for the exercise, walking, swimming, whatever, and tries to take more food from the store, from the liver and other places, or ask you for more food. That way, the whole system is maintained well. Stem cell therapies, these are the therapies that are already happening. Every tissue in your body, liver, blood, bone, thymus, all these are having cells that can multiply and create the organ completely. Even though there are billions and billions of cells, all of them are not the same, and some are called stem cells. They are the foundational cells, and they can make the tissue completely. So if somebody is having a problem with liver, a stem cell for liver can reduce that problem by giving good, new, healthy liver. Genetic and epigenetic therapies. There are techniques to manipulate the genes. It's not there yet. But there are medicines that can help you in switching on and switching off your genes, that is epigenetic therapies. They are going to be very common. Hormone replacement therapy, I'm sure most of you know about it. Especially for women, it is practiced very well. Anti-aging skin treatments, most of them are cosmetic, not with big health benefits. And there are infrared, near infrared light therapies are also mostly cosmetic. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy, some are cosmetic, some to some extent cosmetic, and some extent boost your health. Cryotherapy is also an extreme one, which is not required for many unless there is a special reason. More than all these things, if you monitor your health regularly, the digital health monitoring surely can help you much better. With all these anti-aging interventions, the 8 items that I mentioned earlier can easily be seen as myths. One step advanced, for us to have any medicine, clinical trials are important. Clinical trials are underway to examine metformin, a drug that most of us have taken when they are diabetic, for health span and frailty prevention. One of the most important factors in the old age is not all the other diseases, but frailty. Even if you don't have any disease condition, by being frail, you will have less healthier life in near future. Once someone is frail, the fall occurs. Every fall will result in some damage to the body. Our health and our longevity depends on how bad the fall is. Therefore, stopping frailty is the first priority. So, these clinical trials with metformin, there are many other. I'm just giving one example of metformin. The preclinical, which means on animals, emerged and clinical studies suggest there is potential to improve health span with metformin. There are many doctors, scientists who are working in this field. Even if they are not diabetic, they are taking metformin to have good, healthy span and prevent frailty.
Hello?
Yes? Yes?
I think that was by mistake. Yeah. Someone unmuted.
Yeah. So now with this, there are cell therapies. I'll just give only one example, but there are dozens of them. This is not the right platform to go into the details. There are small microscopic machines like these that can be injected into blood. They will go and eat away, kill, neutralize, or clear all the bad cells so that you will have good cells. This is going to happen soon. It's happening in the clinical trials, and it will become part of the routine medicine. And thereby, your health span will increase and myths about aging will be dispelled. There are plenty of companies which are working in this. Earlier, I showed you 120 companies. But yesterday, I checked because today I'm going to give this presentation. In the past few months, the number of companies have grown several folds. Now they are in thousands. How come suddenly they became thousands? Because many existing companies have started focusing on anti-aging, healthy aging, preventing the health problems in aging suddenly emerged, and today, in any calculation, there are several thousands of companies working in 20 different areas to give better health in the aging process and minimize the aging. In between these few months, the data came up to show that there are 10,000 people who are investing, and these are the investors. These are the investors, professional ones, into these companies. And the leading ones are like Jeff Bezos, the person who started Amazon, and the people who started Google. They're all investing, and everybody is hoping it will be the next Google for them to make money and also make the society a better one. By 2025, everybody is expecting that the market size of this anti-aging or aging better or prevent aging will be $610 billion. That's a huge jump within a short time. And therefore, with this money, thousands of scientists will be attracted, thousands of doctors will be attracted. The best brains will dispel many, many myths about aging. There are 2,773 completed clinical trials that are prepared towards reducing aging, preventing aging, or making better medicines for aging people. And 1,483 were completed out of all the 2,773 as of last week that I tested, checked, and 92 drugs are approved. These drugs for various disease conditions not only stop the disease, but also slow down the aging process. Why do I believe all these things? I told you earlier that a few years back, I published this book, the work of 10 scientists who we called it as scientists greater than Einstein. With their work, more than 2 billion lives are saved in the last 3-4 decades. This in itself is a proof to show that the scientists who are going to are working in these areas can easily add healthy years to you. Of these 10 scientists here, some of them are known to you. Karl Landsteiner, who did the blood groups work. Without understanding blood groups, nobody can transfuse. And Banting, who has done the insulin, penicillin, all these scientists have done so many different things. And the least of that could be Nalin, who has simply said oral rehydration therapy. With all those things, you would definitely appreciate that these simple interventions saved lives. In the same way, the next wave is simple interventions which will save our disease years and make them happy years. But to what extent we can live? How many years we can live? Where is the goal? What is the goal? Is it practical in nature? Yes, let us see the nature. We are biological, and we are almost similar to the biological cells of our cells are similar to the plant cells. They also grow, die. They also get problems, diseases. So in the entire nature, sequoia is a plant which has been growing, and we can find 600 years to 3,000 years of sequoia plants, trees, in the western slopes of the Sierra Nevada in California. It's a Sequoia National Park. How do we know that this tree is really that old? Any tree, when you see the rings, when it is cut and the rings are counted, you know that every year they change with the season, rainy season, dry season. And if there is anything like a fire or anything, the scar also will be there. Based on the number of rings and the way they were growing, one can estimate the life of these trees very precisely. And therefore, we can confidently say a biological cell, like plant cell, can give life to a tree of hundreds and hundreds of years. That is about plants. How about tortoise? There is one, all of them are known to live long, but there is one in Seychelles, and this tortoise is called giant tortoise. Its age is estimated at 190 years. It is still alive, and it is named as Jonathan, and it is observed by all the scientists and people concerned. And so not only the plant cell, a biological cell can also live long period of time. So living 100 years is not an issue at all. In the last 1 month, in my own circle, there are a few of them who are 100 years old. There's one lady right now in Manhattan living here from Andhra Pradesh, Dr. Rajeshwari, who started several colleges in India long time back. Now they have become universities, and was a faculty at Columbia University, still continues to live in the Columbia campus at Riverside on Upper West Side in Manhattan. And there is another gentleman who worked in Lebanon, Pennsylvania as a doctor, whom I know personally, returned to India and celebrated his 100th birthday 2 weeks back. There's another very famous statistician in my circle, Dr. C.R. Rao, who worked in Pennsylvania University, returned to India when he is 98, 99, and at 102, a few weeks back, he passed away. If you carefully notice, there are many who are in your circle as well. And if we pool all of them, it will be very interesting to see that we don't have to have a disease condition, problems, just because we are having many years. Many of them are living normal, but some people have issues, problems, and require hospitalization. The biggest confidence that we have is in when many people are not hospitalized. Why only some are hospitalized? Because there's something wrong with them. If we can correct that, whatever is wrong, we don't have to be hospitalized. We don't have to have disease. And then aging cannot be equated to a disease. There's a Netflix documentary I recommend all of you to watch today itself, called Blue Jones on Netflix. Please watch. And we have talked about Blue Jones 2 years back in my beginning seminars or presentations. We talked about it, and that will teach you quite a bit about dispelling all the myths about aging and learn a few realities of how food can help you. There is another extraordinarily interesting, important jellyfish. This jellyfish is called immortal jellyfish. Jellyfish comes in a very small, minute polyp and grows to fairly large, few centimeters, like a jellyfish with full body. When it doesn't get food, when it doesn't get any help from the environment in the water, it will go back to a small polyp. It will become a small polyp. And when the conditions are good, the same jellyfish will grow again. This is happening again and again and again. The same jellyfish cell gets repaired in itself and lives almost like forever. As far as the scientists have observed, it has been doing it again and again, so they call it as immortal. The DNA is the basis for our life, growth, happiness, disease, and death as well. I have showed you a few months back, probably last year, that at the end of the chromosomes, which are packed DNA, there are caps. In the red box, I show you the different color from the blue. These caps are the measure of our well-being of the cells. A young baby will have a full length, and as we grow old, they become shorter. Many scientists have shown that we can grow these telomeres back to the younger kind of days. And that is what is giving us a great hope that we all can have younger cells in the body. Once we have younger cells in the body, the tissues will be healthier. Once you have a tissue that is healthier, then you will not have any problem of the aging or disease conditions. There is another way that another group of scientists have found out not only the caps, but there are switches in the human DNA. Now we have a good understanding of these human switches. They are called DNA methylation. If a switch is on, it may be working well. If the switch is off, it will not work. Based on that, our biological age or our healthy age is determined. A few months back, I showed you, even though I'm 64 by my date of birth, my biological age is definitely less than 64. Depending on how it is measured, it is a few years to 12 years less than what my passport or the date of birth says. Now scientists have been playing with these switches, and they showed in animals that they can increase the age and reverse the age by playing these switches. One of the most important places for all this work is your thymus. Thymus gland is called master gland. For all your hormones and other activities, thymus is very, very important. And this thymus gland is the one which, in a very simple terms, gives all the protection to your body by training T cells. T cells are the ones that can fight whether it is AIDS or COVID. So scientists have started experimentation in animals and found that with 3 medicines that are already in the market, that all of us are taking, like metformin, if you give them in the right combination, the thymus health can be improved. Once the thymus health is improved, your body will be much better. That's where they are going on right now, and the clinical trials are happening. The clinical trial is called TRIIM-X clinical trials. It's on the clinicaltrials.gov. Anyone between 40 and 80 can join the clinical trials to see if this works for them or not. Obviously, a clinical trials will have exclusion and inclusion criteria. I fit to almost everything except the diabetes part, but I wrote to them saying that even though I'm taking metformin for diabetes, that metformin is one of the medicines that they are giving in the clinical trials. I hope they will recruit me, then I can keep reporting to you if I'm in the study. If I'm not in the study also, I'll keep reporting to you from time to time how important this first step to reverse our aging is happening in United States right now. If you have any of your relatives, children, friends who are between 40 and 80, encourage them to join this. I have no doubt in my mind, with all the readings that I have been doing for the past few years, the medicines that they are giving in this clinical trial, which are already in the market, very safe medicines, can increase the healthy years of the person. These are the 2 scientists, or this group from Harvard, David Sinclair. They have come out with another set of medicines, another 3 set medicines. With that, they could switch on and switch off the entire human body's methylation pattern. We were talking about only one gland, the previous one, but this is for the entire body. This is just very recent one. They are able to switch back and forth of those switches. And now they are going for human trials. The earlier one, thymus, I said, is already in human trials, clinical trials. And next year, hopefully, this will also be in clinical trials, which can reverse cellular aging. Until this team is presenting their work, going for clinical trials, all the science was trying to slow down aging. But here, this is a remarkable step. They're trying to reverse aging. It is now possible in 3 simple words. You can slow down the aging, you can stop aging, and you can reverse aging. Will it be easy for everybody? Probably not all of us. Younger people, yes. If somebody starts at 40, there are very high chances to reverse and slow down. And later ages, probably we can slow down and stop to some extent. Then what can you do? We have seen this before. Record your health, monitor your health, review your health with your doctors. Do all the gene level testings that are available. Take care of the food. Take care of good sleep. Have a happy living and have a purpose. Then it is possible our reversal will be a reality. I'm sure you notice aging is reversible. Sridevi, when she died at 54 or so, is on the right side. And when she was 28 years, that was in Lamhe movie. I'm sure most of you watched. So everybody eventually would like to get back to their peak prime years, maybe 30, 40, not exactly 20, because that is the early age. Even if science can do it, like the jellyfish, we don't want to go back. Then you may have a one simple question. Yes, you can reverse the body. What about my mind? All my experiences? You are your mind. You are your brain. You are your experiences. You are your memories. Yes, there are scientists who are trying to record, and they record and place them back without errors back into your brain. That's a separate topic. For now, Ayurveda as food has been the best, because other than the Western science, today's Western science or modern Western science or the latest Western science, for thousands of years, Ayurveda has been saying, Dr. Shi lived for this long, that person lived for that long, all those things, which Western medicine and Indians have neglected as stories and mythology. But those mythologies and stories are now coming to get reversed. And when Dr. David Sinclair's team from Harvard is giving 3 medicines, they are molecules, they are chemicals. They are the ones which can be from these kind of food items. We have 10,000 food items as another database, not just the 1,000 that I mentioned earlier, which I'm sure will have those kind of molecules, and eventually we'll be able to reverse aging and have a healthy life. Thank you.
Dr. Sir, it's very interesting what future can do to the human life.
Yes, sir.
And earlier, when I was a child, I read Bernard Shaw's Back to Methuselah, where the lifespan was very high, maybe 300 to 500, he said. And in our Ramayana and Mahabharata, we see that they lived for thousands of years. 10,000 years. Rama ruled, and like that, they are talking in thousands only. And and Arvind, in his ashram, he did a lot of experiments of intervention by meditation, and he was also aiming for a longer life, performing life. Now, through therapies, it is more scientifically arrived at, probably. So it's interesting, a lot of pros and cons, and different views of your own personal need for life beyond what it is designed for. So it's interesting. Thank you.
May I have your name, sir? I could not see
My
you.
name is Dr. Suresh Akilla. If your WhatsApp or something is there, I will be in contact.
Yes, I request all of you to be in active contact for a simple reason. Whether this is useful for me or not, for you or not, someone in your circle surely will have a great benefit, your younger people.
Yes.
Because
Doctor, thank you very much. It was very good topic as always, and your suggestion, advice, and guidance will always keep us healthy and maybe more likely reversible in aging also. And we have full faith and confidence in all you and all of you, scientists, therapists, doctors, and all technologies, and the century we are living in the future we are in, I'm very sure that we'll be much more healthy and much more younger. On that note, also, Dr. Rao, I would, this is actually Kishan Bhai.
I know,
I will
Kishanji.
come to your show, and I definitely will watch your advice mentioning Blue Jones on Netflix.
Yes, this evening itself.
Right. And on another note, also, what you discussed, and I know all of my friends also throughout the years, how the surgeries are getting better and better and better as the time passes. I know friends of mine who used to have a knee surgery 10 years ago. They used to keep him in a hospital for about a week or 10 days, then put in the rehabilitation center, then come to the house and come do a therapy. And nowadays, believe it or not, they do a surgery on knee, next day they are back home and doing a therapy. Unbelievable, unbelievable.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Can you display your number again, sir? WhatsApp number.
516. Yes, all the videos will be on the YouTube, and the links will be sent. We are processing all of them and we'll post them.